second grade, it's Miss Herring, and in this video I am going to be reading your second reading packet out loud. I'm going to read the questions and also the stories, so if you would like to do your packet along with me and listen to me read it out loud, then you can listen to this video. But if you already know how to read all the words by yourself, then you can just read them on your own and you don't have to listen to this video. Okay. We are going to be starting on lesson 1 of your packet, so it's on page 10, and it says, ask and answer questions about key details. So, read. Asking and answering questions can help you find key details in what you read. Key details are important pieces of information. Look carefully at the picture of a bird's nest. What questions could you ask about it? So on page 11 is where you're going to ask those questions and fill in the chart. It says, think. What are some questions you could ask and answer about the picture? In the chart below, answer the what question. Then write a where question about the bird's nest and an answer to the question. So your first question, who lives in the home? And the answer is birds. Your next question, what is the home called? And you'll write your answer in the blank. And then the next part is where, but it doesn't have a question. So you need to write where something. You need to make up your own question and then write the answer. Talk. Based on what you see in the picture, what do birds use to build their nests? So you can either talk to someone that's doing your homework with you about that, or you can just write your answer under the question, what do birds use to build their nests? Okay, now I'm going to be on page 12, and I'm going to read the story to you first. It's called Rabbit's Cozy Homes by Arthur Kent. What animal has long ears and a short, fluffy tail? A rabbit, of course. These small, furry creatures live in meadows. They also live in forests and deserts. Rabbits live in holes in the ground. A rabbit hole is called a burrow. It is used for sleeping and caring for kits or baby rabbits. So a baby rabbit is called a kit. Rabbits make their homes cozy with grass, feathers, and fur. Living deep in the ground keeps rabbits safe from their enemies. Rabbits spend most of the day in their burrows. They come out at dawn, so right when the morning starts before the sun has really risen, and dusk, which is right when the sun starts to go down, to find food. On warm, sunny days, they may come out more often. You might see them sitting in your garden. All right, so we've read the story, and now we're going to answer the questions that are on page 13. It says, think. Write questions about the article. Then find the answers in the text. Fill in the answers in the chart. So you're going to write a who question, a what question, a where question, and a how question. If you watched my other video, we did this page together, so you can go and pull that up and work it through with me if you'd like to. Number 2 says talk. Think of a why question about this article and underline the key detail in the text that answers the question. It says ask your partner the question, but if you don't have a partner, you can just write the answer to the question. Number 3, write. Short response. That means you need just a couple of sentences. Write a where question about this article. Then write the key detail from the article that answers your question. Write your answer in the space on page 16. So you're going to have to go down to page 16, and there are lines there for you to write the answer and the question. All right, now we're going to read our next story. I'm on page 14. It's called What Am I? By Ron Friedel. I live on both land and water. I love to hop around. My skin is shiny green. My eyes are bright red. What am I? I am a red-eyed tree frog. My home is the rainforest. This huge wet jungle is my habitat. So a habitat is where an animal lives, where their home is. What a wonderful place to live. Millions of insects live up in the trees. I grab them with my long, sticky tongue. Crunchy crickets are a favorite. Yum. I am glad that my habitat is so wet. I need lots of water to keep my shiny green skin moist, so I am glad it rains so much here. I do most of my hunting at night. In the daytime, I sleep in the trees. My green skin makes me blend in with the leaves, and that keeps me safe from all the hungry birds and snakes. My bulging red eyes help protect me too. When hungry enemies come near, I flash my eyes at them. They are so startled that they don't know what to do, and that gives me time to escape and live another day in my wonderful habitat. All right, we are on page 15 now for your questions. The think question is number 1, where do red-eyed tree frogs live? So you're going to have to go back into the story and find where do they live. It tells you what their habitat is. Write the answer on the lines below. Circle the information in the article that helped you answer the question. So that's like how we go back and we highlight in text evidence to help us answer a question. They ask you to circle it instead, but if you want to highlight it and you have a highlighter, you can do that too. Number 2, based on what you read in the article, how do red-eyed tree frogs escape from their enemies? Okay, this is important. It says circle 2 answers. So there are 2 things that they do that help them escape from their enemies. A, by opening their bright red eyes. B, by climbing up the trees. C, by napping on the leaves. D, by startling their enemies. Talk, number 3. Reread the article. So read it one more time. Think of another question about red-eyed tree frogs to ask your partner. So if you don't have a partner, you can just write the question down. So think of a question that uses one of your question words: who, what, when, where, why, how, about the story that you read, and then just write it under number 3. Number 4 is your writing question. Short response. Use information from the article to answer the question below. Write your answer in the space on page 17. How do red-eyed tree frogs catch their food? So go back in the story, find the answer. How do they catch their food? And then write in complete sentences on page 17. So 16 and 17 are just for writing, so I'm going to skip those. And I'm going to go down to 18, which is our last story. It's called A Prickly Adventure by Barbara Hasson. It is a warm day. A baby porcupine, or porcupette, sleeps in the hollow of a tree. So the hollow of a tree would be like kind of a hole in the tree, or like a part where you can go inside of the tree. When a beetle tickles the porcupette's toe, he wakes up. He follows it out of the tree. Out on his own, the porcupette waddles on short legs through the forest. He munches on bark, twigs, and leaves. His favorite things to eat are dandelions and apples. Dandelions are those flowers that when you blow on them, the little petals come off in the air. The porcupette has keen ears, so he can hear really well with those ears. He hears a snap and the soft padding of footsteps. Is this his mother? He stands on hind legs and sniffs the air. He has a good sense of smell and knows right away it isn't his mother. He makes a sound like a human baby's cry. Something moves closer. The something is a wolf. Stay back, wolf. Now the porcupette is scared. His muscles tighten. This raises his quills. If the wolf touches the porcupette, the sharp quills, they are like little needles that stick out of him, the sharp quills will stick into the wolf's skin. The wolf approaches and the baby porcupine gives 2 warnings. So he does 2 different things. First, he makes a clacking noise with his teeth. Second, he gives off a strong smell from a small patch of skin on his lower back. The wolf steps back. He has come across quills before and didn't like them. He turns and runs into the forest. Sniff, sniff. A new smell floats toward the porcupette. This time it is his mother. They touch nose to nose and his mother grunts to him. Tired but safe, the porcupette follows his mother. They move through the forest in search of more tasty things to eat. And then the picture has a caption that says, the mother porcupine and porcupette sit on the log. Okay, we are now on page 20 to start our questions. So think. Use what you learned by reading A Prickly Adventure to respond to the following questions. Number 1. This question has 2 parts. So first, answer part A, then answer part B. Part A. What are a porcupet's favorite foods? A. Bark and twigs. B. Twigs and leaves. C. Leaves and dandelions. D. Dandelions and apples. Part B. Write the sentence from the text that gave you the information to answer the question in part A. So when you had to go back and find your text evidence, write that sentence that you found on the lines in part B. Number 2. Read this sentence from the article. If the wolf touches the porcupet, the sharp quills will stick into the wolf's skin. Which question can be answered after reading this sentence? So does that tell you how does a porcupet raise its quills? Why would a wolf touch a porcupet? When might a porcupet use its quills? Or what part of the porcupet has quills? So what is that sentence telling you? All right, I'm on page 21 now. And number 3 says, reread paragraph 3. If you did not know what the word munches means, what information from the text helps you learn the meaning? So think about munches. Go find it in the paragraph 3. Read the words around it and see, what do you think munches means? A snap and footsteps? Sleeps in the hollow? His favorite things to eat? Or sniffs in the air? Which of those, A, B, C, or D, goes along with the word munches? Number 4, write a how question about this article. Then give information from the article that answers the question. So you're going to write your questions. You could say, how does the porcupine do this? Or how did the porcupine's mother do this? How did the wolf do this? Then you're going to write the information from the article that answers your question. So write your question and then answer it on the lines. All right, and then number 5 is another writing question. It says, how does a porcupet protect itself? So when we read through, we know that the wolf was going to attack the porcupet, and he did 2 things to help protect himself, or to warn the wolf, and then he did something else to protect himself. So I want you to go through, read that part of the story again, and figure out how did he protect himself from the wolf. And then you're going to list the key details from the text that tell more about how porcupets protect themselves. So for number 5, you don't have to write complete sentences. Just write down what were those things that he did. And then in number 6 is where you're going to write your short response. So how does a porcupet protect itself? Use the key details you found in the article in your answer. So you're going to just write the answer to the question, how does a porcupet protect itself? But use complete sentences. So turn those details that you wrote in number 5 into complete sentences. The porcupet protects itself by, and then you finish it. All right, and that is the end of your packet. So I hope that you guys are doing well, and I hope that you're reading and taking time to do your schoolwork, because it's really important to make sure your brain keeps growing while we're not at school so that you're all ready for 3rd grade. Right? I missed you, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.